Hello friends, Handshake Sparkles. A very warm welcome to our amazing coin collection channel, United States. Today, we are going to explore some historical and fascinating United States Lincoln 1-cent coins. The 1971D, 1973D, 1983D, 1985D, and 1995 pennies fire. These beautiful American coins feature famous inscriptions such as White Heavy Checkmark In God We Trust. White Heavy Checkmark Liberty. White Heavy Checkmark PLURIBUS UNUM. White Heavy Checkmark 1 cent. White Heavy Checkmark United States of America. These coins also feature the iconic portrait of legendary President Abraham Lincoln, who is considered one of the most important presidents in American history. Sparkles. In today's video, we will learn about magnifying glass tilted left the complete history of these Lincoln pennies. Money bag their current collector value. Classical Denver Mint and U.S. Mint details. Sparkles rare error coins and valuable varieties. Copper and zinc composition information. Books amazing facts every coin collector should know. These pennies are not just ordinary coins, they are powerful symbols of American history, culture, and national pride. Some rare high-grade and error Lincoln cents are considered very valuable in today's collector's market. Fire dollar. So make sure to watch the video until the end, because today you are going to discover some truly interesting and rare information about Lincoln 1-cent coins. Smiling Sparkles. The 1971 D Lincoln 1 cent is an important and historic coin from the United States of America that continues to attract collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world. This classic American penny was minted at the famous Denver Mint, which is represented by the small D mint mark found beside the date on the obverse side of the coin. The 1971 D penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, one of the most popular and widely collected coin series in American numismatic history. Even though the coin was originally produced for everyday circulation, today it is admired for its historical value, iconic design, and connection to American heritage. The obverse side of the 1971 D Lincoln cent features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln is remembered for his leadership during the American Civil War and for helping abolish slavery in America. His portrait first appeared on the Lincoln cent in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of his birth. The portrait was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose artistic work became one of the most recognized coin designs in the world. On the upper edge of the coin appears the national motto, In God We Trust, symbolizing faith and patriotism in American culture. To the left of Lincoln's portrait is the word liberty, representing freedom and democracy, while the date 1971 and the small D mint mark appear on the right side. The reverse side of the 1971 D penny displays the famous Lincoln Memorial design, which was used on Lincoln cents from 1959 until 2008. The memorial represents honor, unity, and remembrance of President Lincoln's contributions to the nation. Above the memorial is the inscription United States of America, while directly beneath it appears the Latin phrase PLURIBUS UNUM. This important phrase translates to out of many one, symbolizing the unity of the American states into one nation. At the bottom of the reverse side, the denomination 1 cent is boldly written. The reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo, who served as chief engraver of the United States Mint. One fascinating detail about the Lincoln Memorial reverse is that a tiny image of Lincoln can actually be seen seated inside the memorial building when viewed carefully under magnification. This unique feature makes the Lincoln cent one of the few coins in the world to depict the same historical figure on both sides of the coin. Many collectors find this detail extremely interesting and admire the artistic creativity involved in the design. The 1971 D penny was struck primarily from a bronze alloy consisting of approximately 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. Unlike later Lincoln cents produced after 1982, which were made mostly from zinc, the 1971 D cent contains a much higher amount of copper. Because of this, older bronze Lincoln cents are often heavier and have a distinct metallic appearance that many collectors appreciate. The coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Its rich copper color gives it a classic and traditional appearance associated with vintage American pennies. During 1971, the Denver Mint produced an enormous number of Lincoln cents to support the growing American economy and daily commercial activity. Billions of pennies circulated through stores, banks, schools, vending machines, and households across the United States. Because of the large production numbers, circulated 1971 D pennies are generally common today. However, collectors still search for high-grade, uncirculated examples that retain their original mint luster and bright red color. Coins graded in excellent mint state condition are much more difficult to find because many pennies quickly became worn in circulation. The value of a 1971 D Lincoln cent depends heavily on its condition and rarity. A heavily circulated coin may only be worth slightly more than face value, especially because of its copper content. However, uncirculated examples with attractive red surfaces can be worth significantly more to collectors. Coins graded MS65 red or higher are particularly desirable in the numismatic market. In addition, rare mint error varieties can sometimes sell for impressive prices at auctions and coin shows. Collectors carefully inspect 1971 D pennies for mint errors and unusual varieties. Some possible errors include doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and coins struck on incorrect blanks. These minting mistakes occurred accidentally during production and can make certain coins extremely collectible. Error coin hunting remains a popular part of numismatics because collectors enjoy the excitement of discovering unusual and rare pieces hidden among ordinary coins. The phrase "In God We Trust" carries deep significance in American history and culture. The motto has appeared on U.S. coins for many generations and reflects themes of faith, national identity, and tradition. On the 1971 D penny, the inscription is displayed prominently above Lincoln's portrait, giving the coin a patriotic and historical character. Similarly, the word liberty reminds collectors of the principles of freedom and independence upon which the United States was founded. The 1971 D Lincoln cent is also important because it represents a time before major changes occurred in American coin production. During the early 1970s, most U.S. pennies were still made from bronze, and coin designs remained traditional and highly recognizable. Later decades brought changes in composition, minting technology, and coin collecting trends. Therefore, the 1971 D penny stands as a connection to an earlier era of American currency history. For many collectors, Lincoln cents are more than simple coins. They are historical artifacts that tell stories about the United States and its people. The 1971 D penny reflects the artistry of American coin design, the leadership of Abraham Lincoln, and the traditions of the U.S. Mint. Many hobbyists enjoy building complete Lincoln cent collections that include coins from every year and mint mark. Finding a beautiful 1971 D penny in high condition can therefore be an exciting achievement for collectors. Today, the 1971 D Lincoln 1 cent remains one of the most recognized coins in American numismatics. Its combination of historical symbolism, classic copper composition, and famous Lincoln design continues to attract attention from collectors around the world. Although it carries only a face value of 1 cent, the coin represents much more than money. It symbolizes American history, national unity, artistic craftsmanship, and decades of everyday life in the United States of America. The 1971 D Lincoln cent holds a special place in the history of modern American coinage because it was produced during a period when the United States economy and population were rapidly growing. Pennies were used constantly in daily life, making them one of the most circulated coins in the country. Every day, millions of Americans carried these small copper coins in their pockets, wallets, cash registers, and piggy banks. Because of this widespread use, the 1971 D penny became part of ordinary American culture and daily commerce. Even though most people viewed it simply as spare change, collectors later recognized its importance as a historical and artistic piece of U.S. currency. The Denver Mint, where the 1971 D penny was produced, has a long and respected history in American coin manufacturing. Located in Colorado, the Denver Mint became famous for producing large quantities of circulating coinage for the nation. Coins minted there are identified by the small D mint mark found beside the date. During the early 1970s, the Denver Mint operated at extremely high production levels to keep up with public demand for coins. As a result, billions of Lincoln cents were struck, making the 1971 D penny one of the most commonly encountered vintage cents today. However, despite its high mintage, finding sharply struck examples with original mint red color remains challenging for serious collectors. The rich bronze composition of the 1971 D penny gives it a warm and attractive appearance that many numismatists prefer over later zinc-based cents. Because the coin contains mostly copper, older examples often develop beautiful natural toning over time. Some coins become deep brown, while others display shades of red, orange, or even rainbow colors depending on storage conditions and environmental exposure. Collectors often appreciate these natural color changes because they add character and uniqueness to each coin. Brilliant red uncirculated examples are especially valuable because they preserve the original appearance of the coin as it left the mint. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side continues to be one of the most iconic images in American numismatic history. Victor David Brenner designed Lincoln's profile with remarkable realism and dignity, helping create a coin design that has lasted for more than a century. Lincoln's calm facial expression and detailed features symbolize leadership, wisdom, and determination. Many historians consider Abraham Lincoln one of the greatest presidents in American history because of his role in preserving the Union during the Civil War and issuing the Emancipation Proclamation. For this reason, the Lincoln cent carries not only monetary value but also deep historical importance. The reverse side featuring the Lincoln Memorial is equally meaningful. The memorial itself was completed in Washington, D.C., as a tribute to Lincoln's leadership and legacy. On the coin, though with architectural detail despite the tiny size of the penny, under collectors and demonstrates the extraordinary skill of the coin's designer Frank Gasparro. The combination of Lincoln's portrait and memorial on the same coin creates a complete tribute to one of America's most admired leaders. The 1973 D. Lincoln 1 cent is a classic and historically important coin from the United States of America. This beautiful American penny was minted at the famous Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located beside the date on the obverse side of the coin. The 1973 D penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, one of the most collected and recognizable coin series in the world. Although this coin was originally produced for everyday circulation, it remains highly popular among collectors because of its connection to American history, its copper composition, and its iconic design featuring President Abraham Lincoln. The obverse side of the 1973 D. Lincoln cent displays the legendary portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln is remembered for his leadership during the American Civil War and for helping end slavery in the nation. His image first appeared on the Lincoln cent in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of his birth. The portrait was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB later became famous among coin collectors. Above Lincoln's portrait appears the inscription "In God We Trust," the official national motto of the United States, representing patriotism and faith. To the left side is the word liberty, symbolizing freedom and democracy, while the date 1973 and the small D mint mark appear on the right side. The reverse side of the 1973 D penny features the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was used on Lincoln cents from 1959 through 2008. The memorial honors Abraham Lincoln and symbolizes national unity, leadership, and American pride. At the top of the reverse side appears the inscription United States of America, while directly beneath it is the Latin phrase PLURIBUS UNUM. This phrase means out of many, one, representing the union of the American states into a single nation. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent is prominently displayed. The reverse design was created by Frank Gasparro, who served as chief engraver of the United States Mint. One remarkable detail of the Lincoln Memorial reverse is the tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial building. When viewed carefully under magnification, collectors can actually see this small figure. This artistic feature makes the Lincoln cent one of the few coins in the world to display the same historical figure on both sides. Many numismatists admire this hidden detail because it demonstrates the exceptional craftsmanship of the coin's design. The 1973 D. Lincoln cent was struck using a bronze alloy composed of approximately 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. Unlike later pennies produced after 1982, which were mostly made from zinc, the 1973 D penny contains a much larger amount of copper. Because of this, the coin weighs around 3.11 grams and has a solid metallic feel that collectors often appreciate. The rich copper composition gives older Lincoln cents their classic appearance and makes them especially appealing to many numismatists. During 1973, the United States Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents to support the country's economy and daily commerce. Pennies were widely used in stores, vending machines, parking meters, schools, and businesses across America. Because of the large production numbers, circulated 1973 D pennies remain relatively common today. However, finding examples in high mint state condition with original red mint color can be much more difficult. Coins with bright luster and minimal contact marks are especially desirable among collectors. The value of a 1973 D Lincoln cent depends heavily on its condition and overall quality. Worn circulated examples are generally worth only a small amount above face value because of their common availability. However, uncirculated examples with strong red color and excellent surfaces can command significantly higher prices. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on wear, strike quality, luster, and eye appeal. Coins graded MS65 red or better are particularly attractive to Lincoln cent collectors. Collectors also search for rare mint errors and varieties among 1973 D pennies. Some coins display doubled dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, or broad strike errors. These minting mistakes occurred accidentally during production and can greatly increase a coin's value. Error coin collecting has become a popular area of numismatics because collectors enjoy discovering unusual and rare pieces hidden among ordinary circulation coins. The phrase "In God We Trust" on the 1973 D penny reflects important traditions in American history and culture. This motto has appeared on U.S. coins for generations and symbolizes national faith and identity. Likewise, the word liberty represents the ideals of freedom and independence upon which the United States was founded. Combined with PLURIBUS UNUM, these inscriptions give the coin strong patriotic symbolism despite its small size. The 1973 D Lincoln cent also represents an important era in American history. During the early 1970s, the United States experienced major political, economic, and social changes. Yet throughout these transformations, the Lincoln cent remained a familiar and trusted part of everyday life. Millions of Americans used pennies for daily purchases, making the coin an important symbol of ordinary commerce and economic activity during that period. Many collectors enjoy building complete Lincoln cent collections that include coins from every year and mint mark. The 1973 D penny is often included because of its historical importance, copper composition, and connection to the classic memorial reverse design. Some collectors search specifically for brilliant red examples, while others focus on error varieties or high-grade certified coins. The coin remains affordable for beginners while still offering challenges for advanced numismatists seeking top-quality specimens. The artistic beauty of the 1973 D penny continues to attract admiration from collectors around the world. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln remains one of the most enduring coin designs in American history, while Frank Gasparo's memorial reverse honors one of the nation's greatest presidents. Together, these designs create a coin that combines history, symbolism, and craftsmanship in a very small format. Today, the 1973 D Lincoln 1 cent remains an important piece of American numismatic heritage. Although it carries a face value of only 1 cent, the coin represents much more than money. It symbolizes American history, national unity, artistic achievement, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whether found in old coin jars, family collections, or professional coin albums. The 1973 D penny continues to hold lasting significance for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The 1973 D Lincoln cent is also remembered as a coin from an era when cash transactions dominated everyday life in the United States. During the early 1970s, people relied heavily on coins and paper money for shopping, transportation, entertainment, and small purchases. Pennies were commonly used in grocery stores, vending machines, public telephones, arcades, and school cafeterias. Because of this constant circulation, billions of Lincoln cents pass through the hands of ordinary Americans every year. The 1973 D penny therefore became a small but important part of daily American life and culture. The Denver Mint played a major role in producing the nation's coinage during this period. Established in Colorado, the Denver Mint became one of the busiest coin-producing facilities in the world. The small D mint mark on the 1973 penny identifies it as a product of this historic mint. Collectors often enjoy comparing pennies from different mint locations, studying differences in strike quality, luster, and rarity. Although Philadelphia and San Francisco also produced Lincoln cents in some years, Denver minted coins remain especially popular because of their large production numbers and strong collector interest. The copper alloy used in the 1973 D penny gives the coin a distinctive appearance and texture that many collectors prefer over modern zinc cents. Because the coin contains approximately 95% copper, older examples often develop beautiful natural toning as they age. Some coins turn deep chocolate brown, while others maintain reddish-orange colors or even develop rainbow-like shades caused by oxidation over time. Collectors often admire these natural color variations because they make each coin unique. Bright red uncirculated examples are especially prized because they preserve the original mint appearance. The artistry of Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains one of the greatest achievements in United States coin design. Victor David Brenner created a realistic and dignified image that reflects Lincoln's intelligence, strength, and humanity. The portrait has survived for more than a century with only small modifications, making it one of the longest-running designs in world coinage history. Lincoln's image on the penny reminds Americans of his lasting contributions to the nation, including preserving the Union during the Civil War and promoting equality and freedom. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design created by Frank Gasparo is equally historic. The memorial itself stands in Washington, D.C., as one of the most visited monuments in the United States. By placing this famous building on the reverse side of the penny, the U.S. Mint honored Lincoln not only as a president but also as a symbol of national unity and leadership. Collectors often study the details of the memorial, including the columns, steps, and tiny seated Lincoln visible inside the structure under magnification. These small details demonstrate the extraordinary craftsmanship involved in coin engraving. The 1973 D penny is also significant because it was produced before the major composition changes of the 1980s. At that time, pennies were still made primarily from copper, giving them greater weight and a traditional metallic sound. Rising metal prices later forced the U.S. Mint to switch to copper-plated zinc coins beginning in 1982. Because of this change, many collectors appreciate pre-1982 bronze cents like the 1973 D penny as part of the classic era of modern American coinage. Coin grading has become extremely important for collectors of the 1973 D Lincoln cent. Professional grading companies evaluate coins according to wear, luster, strike quality, and surface preservation. Coins that remain in pristine mint state condition can command strong premiums in the collector market. A sharply struck coin with glowing red surfaces and very few marks is much rarer than ordinary circulated examples. Collectors often use magnifying glasses, digital microscopes, and special lighting to inspect every detail carefully. The 1983 D Lincoln 1 cent is an important modern coin from the United States of America that remains highly interesting to collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world. This penny was minted at the famous Denver Mint, represented by the small D mint mark located beside the date on the obverse side of the coin. The 1983 D penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, one of the most successful and recognizable coin series in American history. Although billions of these pennies were produced for everyday circulation, the coin still carries historical significance because it represents an important transitional era in United States coinage. The obverse side of the 1983 D Lincoln cent features the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln is remembered as one of the greatest leaders in American history because of his role in preserving the Union during the Civil War and helping abolish slavery. His portrait first appeared on the Lincoln cent in 1909, making it the first regular American circulating coin to feature a real historical figure. The design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose artistic portrait became famous worldwide. Above Lincoln's portrait appears the inscription "In God We Trust," which is the official national motto of the United States. To the left side is the word liberty, representing freedom and democracy, while the date 1983 and the D mint mark appear on the right side. The reverse side of the 1983 D penny displays the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was used on Lincoln cents from 1959 through 2008. The memorial honors Abraham Lincoln and symbolizes national unity, leadership, and American pride. At the top of the reverse side is the inscription United States of America, while directly below it appears the Latin phrase PLURIBUS UNUM. This phrase translates to "out of many, one," representing the unity of the American states into one nation. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent is boldly written. The reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. One fascinating detail about the Lincoln Memorial reverse is that a tiny image of Lincoln can actually be seen seated inside the memorial when viewed carefully with magnification. This unique artistic feature makes the Lincoln cent one of the few coins in the world to display the same person on both sides of the coin. Collectors often admire this hidden detail because it demonstrates the remarkable skill of the coin designers. The year 1983 was especially important in Lincoln cent history because it followed the major composition change introduced in 1982. Before 1982, most Lincoln cents were made primarily of copper. However, due to rising copper prices, the United States Mint changed the composition to a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. Therefore, the 1983 D penny is made mostly of zinc with copper plating. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. This new composition significantly reduced production costs and marked a major transition in modern American coinage. Because the 1983 D penny contains mostly zinc, collectors sometimes encounter coins with plating problems or corrosion. Damage to the copper coating may expose the gray-colored zinc underneath, leading to bubbling, dark spots, or surface deterioration. For this reason, collectors prefer examples with smooth surfaces, bright luster, and intact copper plating. Proper storage in dry conditions is important for preserving these coins over long periods. The Denver Mint produced billions of 1983 D pennies for circulation throughout the United States economy. Pennies were heavily used during the 1980s for everyday purchases, vending machines, parking meters, and small transactions. Because of the extremely large mintage, circulated examples of the 1983 D penny are common today. However, locating coins in high mint state condition with strong original red color can be much more difficult. Uncirculated coins with excellent eye appeal are highly sought after by collectors. One of the most famous aspects of the 1983 Lincoln cent series is the existence of rare double die varieties. Some 1983 pennies show noticeable doubling in inscriptions and design details caused by errors during die production. These varieties are highly collectible and can be worth substantial amounts depending on condition and rarity. Collectors often examine 1983 D pennies, carefully using magnification to search for unusual features or minting errors. Other mint errors associated with 1983 D pennies include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, broad strikes, and coins struck on incorrect blanks. Error coins are popular among collectors because they are accidental and often rare. Finding an unusual mint error in circulation can be exciting and rewarding for coin enthusiasts. Some dramatic error coins have sold for impressive prices at auctions and coin shows. The value of a 1983 D Lincoln cent depends greatly on condition, color, and rarity. Circulated examples are usually worth only face value or slightly more. However, uncirculated coins with original red surfaces and minimal marks can command higher collector premiums. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on wear, luster, strike quality, and surface preservation. High-grade examples graded MS65 red or above are especially desirable among Lincoln cent collectors. The inscriptions on the coin carry deep symbolic meaning in American culture. In God We Trust reflects faith and patriotism, while liberty represents freedom and independence. The phrase PLURIBUS UNUM symbolizes the unity of the American states into one nation. Together with Lincoln's portrait and memorial, these inscriptions transform the penny into a miniature representation of American history and national identity. The 1983 D Lincoln cent also serves as an educational piece for new collectors learning about numismatics. Through studying this coin, collectors can learn about U.S. mint history, coin design, metal composition changes, grading, and minting errors. Many experienced numismatists began their collecting journey by searching through ordinary pennies from circulation. Because Lincoln cents are affordable and easy to obtain, they remain one of the best entry points into coin collecting. Today, the 1983 D Lincoln 1 cent remains a significant part of modern American numismatic history. Although the coin has a face value of only 1 cent, its historical background, composition change, and connection to Abraham Lincoln make it far more meaningful to collectors. Whether stored in albums, coin jars, or professional holders, the 1983 D penny continues to represent American heritage, artistry, and the enduring popularity of the Lincoln cent series. The 1985 D Lincoln 1 cent is one of the most recognized modern coins of the United States of America. This beautiful copper-colored penny was minted in Denver and carries the famous inscriptions in God We Trust, Liberty, and PLURIBUS UNUM. Even though millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, the 1985 D penny still holds an important place in American coin history and remains highly popular among collectors, history lovers, and coin enthusiasts around the world. The coin represents not only American currency but also the culture, heritage, and traditions of the United States. For many collectors, Lincoln cents are among the first coins they begin collecting because of their rich historical background and iconic design. The obverse, front side of the 1985 D penny features the legendary portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln is remembered as one of the greatest leaders in American history because of his role in preserving the Union during the Civil War and ending slavery in America. His image first appeared on the Lincoln cent in 1909, making it the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of symbolic artwork. On the front of the 1985 D penny, the words "In God We Trust" appear along the upper edge of the coin. This national motto reflects faith and patriotism in American culture. The word liberty is displayed to the left side of Lincoln's portrait, symbolizing freedom and democracy. On the right side, the date 1985 appears together with the small D mint mark, indicating that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint in Colorado. The reverse backside of the 1985 D Lincoln cent carries the classic wheatless memorial design that was used from 1959 to 2008. In the center of the reverse side is the image of the Lincoln Memorial, one of the most famous monuments in Washington, D.C. The memorial honors Abraham Lincoln and symbolizes unity, strength, and national pride. Above the memorial, the inscription United States of America curves around the upper rim of the coin, while the Latin phrase E PLURIBUS UNUM appears directly beneath it. This phrase translates to out of many one, representing the union of the American states into one nation. At the bottom of the reverse side, the denomination 1 cent is boldly written, clearly identifying the coin's value. The 1985 D penny was struck at the famous Denver Mint, one of the major United States mint facilities responsible for producing circulating coinage. During 1985, the Denver Mint produced billions of pennies to meet the needs of the American economy. Because of such large production numbers, the 1985 D penny is generally considered a common coin in circulated condition. However, collectors still search for high-grade examples, especially coins with strong luster, minimal scratches, and original mint red color. Coins graded in mint state condition by professional grading companies can sometimes sell for significantly higher prices than ordinary circulated examples. One of the most interesting facts about the 1985 Lincoln cent is its metal composition. Earlier Lincoln cents were mostly made from bronze, but beginning in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition to copper-plated zinc due to rising copper prices. Therefore, the 1985 D penny is primarily made of zinc with a thin outer layer of copper. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Although the coin appears copper in color, the inner core is mostly zinc. This composition change marked an important transition in modern American coinage history and remains a fascinating topic for collectors. The design of the Lincoln cent was created by talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, are famously associated with Lincoln pennies. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln became one of the most enduring coin designs in American history. The reverse memorial design was created by Frank Gasparro, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. Together, these artistic elements gave the 1985 D penny a timeless appearance that millions of Americans carried in their pockets every day. Collectors often examine 1985 D pennies carefully for mint errors and varieties. Some rare error coins can be worth far more than ordinary pennies. Examples include off-center strikes, double die errors, clip planchets, die cracks, and coins struck on incorrect metal blanks. While most 1985 D pennies are common, unusual minting mistakes can attract significant attention in the numismatic market. A high-quality error coin in certified condition may sell for impressive amounts depending on rarity and demand. The value of a 1985 D Lincoln cent depends greatly on its condition. In worn circulated condition, the coin is usually worth only face value or slightly more. However, uncirculated coins with bright original red surfaces can command higher collector prices. Coins graded MS65 red or better are especially desirable among Lincoln cent collectors. Rare error varieties or coins with exceptional eye appeal may achieve even greater values at auctions and coin shows. The Lincoln cent series is one of the longest-running coin series in United States history. Since its introduction in 1909, generations of Americans have used these pennies in daily commerce. The 1985 D penny continues this proud tradition and represents an era of modern American coinage during the 1980s. Many people remember finding these coins in pocket change, piggy banks, and old coin jars. Because of their historical connection and affordability, Lincoln cents remain among the most widely collected coins in the world. Today, the 1985 D Lincoln penny remains an important part of coin collecting culture. Beginners enjoy collecting these coins because they are easy to find, while advanced collectors search for perfect high-grade specimens and rare mint errors. The coin's connection to Abraham Lincoln, combined with its classic American inscriptions such as In God We Trust, Liberty, and E PLURIBUS UNUM, gives it lasting popularity and historical significance. Even though it is only worth 1 cent in everyday use, the 1985 D penny represents over a century of American history, artistry, and national identity. The 1985 D Lincoln cent is more than just a small American coin. It is a symbol of the everyday economic life of the United States during the mid-1980s. At that time, pennies were heavily used in daily transactions such as buying groceries, newspapers, candy, and other inexpensive products. Millions of Americans handled Lincoln cents every day without realizing that these tiny coins carried deep historical meaning and artistic beauty. The 1985 D penny reflects an important period in modern American history when the United States economy was growing and coin production remained extremely high, because pennies circulated widely. They became part of the memories and experiences of ordinary people across the country. The phrase "In God We Trust," displayed on the obverse side, has a long history in American coinage. This motto officially became associated with U.S. coins during the 19th century and later became the national motto of the United States. On the 1985 D penny, the inscription reminds collectors of the nation's cultural traditions and patriotic identity. Many coin collectors study the style, spacing, and quality of these inscriptions because different striking conditions can affect how clearly the letters appear. Sharp and well-defined lettering is usually preferred by collectors, especially on uncirculated coins. The word liberty on the coin represents one of the core principles of the United States. Liberty symbolizes freedom, independence, and democracy, values that have been deeply connected to American identity since the nation's founding. On the 1985 D penny, this simple word carries powerful meaning and reminds collectors that even small coins can represent major historical ideas. Over the decades, liberty has appeared in many forms on American coins, but the Lincoln cent combines this concept with the image of one of America's most respected presidents. The reverse inscription PLURIBUS UNUM is written in Latin and translates to out of many one. This phrase represents the unity of the American states and people into one nation. The motto has appeared on U.S. coins for centuries and is considered one of the most important traditional mottos in American history. On the 1985 D penny, the phrase is positioned above the Lincoln Memorial and below United States of America, creating a balanced and elegant design. Collectors often admire how these inscriptions combine symbolism, history, and national pride in such a small piece of metal. The Lincoln Memorial shown on the reverse side is itself an important American monument. Located in Washington, D.C., the memorial honors Abraham Lincoln and attracts millions of visitors every year. Interestingly, if examined closely under magnification, the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial can actually be seen on the coin. This makes the Lincoln cent unique, because Lincoln appears on both sides of the coin at the same time. Many collectors find this artistic detail fascinating and consider it one of the cleverest designs in American numismatic history. Another interesting aspect of the 1985 D penny is the large number produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver facility was one of the busiest U.S. mint locations and played a major role in supplying coins for circulation across America. Because so many 1985 D pennies were minted, finding circulated examples today is very easy. However, locating coins in near-perfect condition is much more difficult. Collectors search for coins with original mint luster, no discoloration, and very few contact marks. Such high-quality examples are often stored in protective holders to preserve their condition for future generations. Coin grading is extremely important when determining the value of a 1985 D Lincoln cent. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on wear, strike quality, luster, and overall appearance. A heavily circulated penny may only be worth 1 cent, while a flawless mint state example could be worth many dollars or more. The 1995 Lincoln 1 cent is one of the most famous and widely collected modern coins from the United States of America. This penny belongs to the legendary Lincoln cent series, which has remained an important part of American currency since 1909. The 1995 penny carries the well-known inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and "PLURIBUS UNUM," making it a classic representation of American values, history, and national identity. Although the coin was produced mainly for everyday circulation, many collectors today appreciate it because of its historical importance, attractive design, and the possibility of valuable mint errors and high-grade examples. The obverse side of the 1995 Lincoln cent features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln is remembered as one of the most influential leaders in American history due to his efforts to preserve the Union during the Civil War and his role in ending slavery. His portrait first appeared on the Lincoln cent in 1909 to celebrate the centennial anniversary of his birth. The portrait was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB became famous among collectors. On the top of the coin appears the inscription "In God We Trust," the official national motto of the United States. To the left of Lincoln's portrait is the word "Liberty," symbolizing freedom and democracy, while the date 1995 appears on the right side. The reverse side of the 1995 penny displays the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was used on Lincoln cents from 1959 until 2008. The memorial honors Abraham Lincoln and symbolizes unity, leadership, and national pride. Above the memorial appears the inscription "United States of America," while directly below it is the Latin motto "PLURIBUS UNUM," meaning out of many one. This phrase represents the union of the American states into one nation. At the bottom of the reverse side, the denomination 1 cent is boldly written. The reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo, who served as chief engraver of the United States Mint. An interesting feature of the Lincoln Memorial reverse is the tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial building. Under magnification, collectors can actually see this small figure, making the Lincoln cent one of the few coins in the world to display the same historical person on both sides. This artistic detail has fascinated coin collectors for decades and adds additional charm to the design. The 1995 Lincoln cent was produced during a time when the United States Mint was using a copper-plated zinc composition for pennies. Beginning in 1982, rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to change from the older bronze alloy to a zinc core covered with a thin layer of copper. Therefore, the 1995 penny is composed mainly of zinc with a copper outer coating. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Although the outer appearance resembles older copper pennies, the inner core is mostly zinc. This composition change became an important part of modern American coinage history. The 1995 Lincoln cent was struck at different mint facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia usually do not carry a mint mark, while coins from Denver display a small D mint mark next to the date. Millions and even billions of pennies were produced during 1995 to meet the needs of everyday commerce. Because of the enormous production numbers, most circulated 1995 pennies are common today. However, collectors still search for high-quality uncirculated examples and rare mint errors. One of the main reasons the 1995 Lincoln cent is famous among collectors is the existence of the 1995 doubled die obverse variety. This error coin shows noticeable doubling on inscriptions such as Liberty and In God We Trust. Unlike ordinary machine doubling, true doubled die errors occur during the die manufacturing process and are highly collectible. The 1995 doubled die penny became one of the most recognized modern error coins in the United States, attracting both beginner and advanced collectors. Well-preserved examples of this variety can sell for significant amounts depending on condition. Collectors often inspect 1995 pennies carefully for additional mint errors and varieties. Some possible errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and coins struck on incorrect metal blanks. Because minting mistakes are relatively rare, unusual examples can become valuable collector items. Searching through rolls of pennies for hidden treasures remains a popular activity among coin enthusiasts. The value of a 1995 Lincoln cent depends greatly on condition, rarity, and color designation. Circulated examples are generally worth only face value, but uncirculated coins with strong original mint luster are more desirable. Collectors classify copper-plated cents into color categories such as red, red-brown, and brown. Fully red examples are considered the most valuable because they preserve the original appearance of the coin as it left the mint. Coins graded MS65 red or higher by professional grading companies can command premium prices. The phrase "In God We Trust" on the coin reflects the patriotic and cultural traditions of the United States. This motto has appeared on American coinage for many generations and symbolizes faith and national unity. Similarly, the word liberty represents the ideals of freedom, democracy, and independence that are deeply connected to American history. Together with PLURIBUS UNUM, these inscriptions give the 1995 penny strong symbolic meaning despite its small size and low face value. The Lincoln cent series remains one of the most collected coin series in the world. Many people begin coin collecting by saving pennies from circulation, eventually learning about dates, mint marks, varieties, and grading. The 1995 penny is especially important because of its connection to famous double die errors and modern coin collecting culture. For some collectors, finding a rare 1995 variety in circulation became an exciting introduction to numismatics. Today, the 1995 Lincoln 1 cent continues to hold an important place in American coin collecting. Whether kept in albums, coin rolls, or graded holders, these pennies represent modern U.S. history, artistic craftsmanship, and national identity. Even though it carries a value of only 1 cent in everyday commerce, the 1995 Lincoln penny remains a fascinating collectible that connects people to the rich history and traditions of the United States of America.